Monday morning. Time to enter the work zone. Incense first. Amber and rose today. Wonderful. Clean my glasses. I need a cup of tea. I need paper. I have all these drawings from when I did life drawing class, but I don't have any plain paper. Pages at the end of an old journal will do. I've got my teapot from Morocco, and I've got my tea from Morocco. I bought some mint, so let's make a mint tea. I want to have another cup of coffee, but my body does not need any more coffee. I know that's for sure. This Greek honey that I bought yesterday is probably the best honey I've ever had. It tastes so good. Beautiful. Now we can start the day. I'm gonna plan out my week now, and I'm trying to be more realistic when I plan things out and not cram so much into my days, because that always seems to be a bit of a recipe for disaster. So for some context, I have a couple of different jobs at the moment. I'm doing work as a freelance architectural designer and as a social media manager, making these YouTube videos, and then I have other just like personal passion projects that I want to bring to life that I'm trying to put more work into at the moment. So that is my work situation. For a little bit more context on the context, I got my architectural design job through a friend of mine who has his own practice, and I do work for him. And typically I'm just doing documentation work, so doing drawings, like he'll do most of the design and then I do drawings for him. And I've also got another architectural design job at the moment for a client who reached out to me to help design and put together a concept for a space that she wants to bring to life. And my social media management job I got through just doing UGC content, and I worked with this brand a few times and they really liked the content I created, and when they were hiring somebody to manage their TikTok account, they reached out to me and asked if I would create content for them on a weekly basis. And then for YouTube, I have been making these videos for like 2.5, 3 years, and it's just now in the past few months started to be something that I can make money off. So yeah, that is the context. I hope that gives a little bit of insight. My week has been planned. I always just use my notes app on my laptop to plan my week. At the top, I'll write like a main list of like everything that I want to do in the week, and then I separate it into work and self. So under work, I've got all of the jobs and like things that I need to do this week, and then under self, I've got all the things that I want to do, whether it's like hobbies that I want to do more of or places that I want to go and see. So I've got things like go for a long walk with a podcast, do scrapbooking, explore the south of the island, take Spanish lessons. And then under work, I've just got all of the jobs and deadlines and meetings that I have this week. And then I will go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and just write down things that I want to do each week so that I have like a clear idea of like, can I actually fit all of this stuff into the week? And so that's what I've done. And I've got a little snack. I love a snack, guys. I'm such a snack person. I've just got yogurt with honey, pomegranate and melon. I'm gonna respond to emails now, which will probably take me like an hour. I've done my emails, I've responded to YouTube comments, which means it's time for a break. I'm gonna make a hot drink. I don't know whether to make coffee or tea. And I want a coffee because I like the taste of coffee. I think I'm gonna make a coffee. I've been responding to YouTube comments for the past like hour, and I've got tears in my eyes because comments, like it's just this, the words, thoughts form. I think because I've been creating these videos on YouTube for like a couple of years, and it was so slow to start. And although my YouTube has grown slowly and like is growing slowly, it feels like it's growing in the most like right direction and just in a very, very aligned way. And I feel like it's just a community of beautiful people who see beautiful things in the world, and it doesn't feel like something that's like, oh yeah, it's just like YouTube, like it's just people on my videos. Like, it means a lot to me, and it always takes me back when I respond to comments, and my heart just feels so full and happy and content that I get to be doing something that I'm so passionate about. It's just so nice that being myself, sharing myself in like my most authentic way, and in a way I think that I've kind of like shied away from a lot of my life, just like the sensitive side of myself, seeing the beauty in the world and wanting to like document all my thoughts and feelings. I think that I've always felt like that has been like too much, or like, oh, you're doing the most, Cameron, like why, it's not that deep. And sharing my videos feels like a really, really important and special way for me to express that part of myself, and when it's met with like receptivity and resonance from people watching my videos, it just hits a really deep part in me, and I'm so, so grateful. And on that note, we have a cup of coffee, and next on the list I'm going to organize files for my next video, because I've got like 2 different SD cards with videos, and then videos on my phone, and then voice memos on my phone. I was filming a video over the past couple of days, and all the footage is on my SD cards, and I love to have organized files. It just makes my brain, I can't have the chaos of files being everywhere. I need an organizational system. So I organize my files by month, and then by video, and then I'll have folders within my folders, and I'll separate all my content into videos or sounds, thumbnails, and it just makes the editing process so much smoother when everything is organized. So I'm gonna go ahead and organize my footage from the past few days. I just love having a paper list that I can cross things off. Even if I've got the list on my laptop, I'll write it down on paper at the start of the day so that I can tick things off, because there's a certain sense of satisfaction that comes from a line on a page. I'm such a chill boss. You're tired, you don't want to work, go to the beach. It's fine.
Kasamadi is a Jali and a member of the leading Jabati family, who along with the Koyatis, Sissokos and others, have provided some of Mali's greatest musicians. He can trace his origins back to the 13th century, when his ancestor fought alongside Emperor Sundiata Keita.
Et la monotonie dans la musique. Là, c'est pas du tout traditionnel seulement. Même la musique moderne, quand elle n'improvise pas, ça devient monotone.
I told myself that I would start work today by 10 a.m. because yesterday I started quite late and didn't get everything I wanted to do done, but it is 11:20. I got caught up at the bakery chatting and making small talk with people, but it was a really nice time, so I'm happy. My list only got half crossed off yesterday because I felt like I wasn't being productive in the afternoon and I felt like I was really forcing myself to do work, so I was like, you know what, I'm clearly not in the mood, let me just go and do something I'll actually enjoy. And I had such a nice afternoon and evening yesterday, and I think that sometimes that's what we need, like rather than like punishing ourselves and forcing ourselves to get things done and be productive, sometimes if you just take a little break then maybe you'll be more productive when you come back to it. So I'm coming back to it today and going to finish off what I was working on yesterday, which is the concept presentation that I'm doing for my freelance architectural design work. And so I've planned out everything with this presentation on this piece of paper. I'm such more of like a papers person when it comes to planning things rather than doing things digitally straight away. I think that it helps me do things with more intention and decision rather than just like fucking around. And this presentation is a concept presentation, so it's just the initial presentation to show what my ideas for the space are, what the vibe and the feel is going to be like. And then I've also got a UGC video that I need to edit later on today, which I've been putting off for so long, I need to just do it. When I was journaling this morning and wrote down my intention for the day, I said, what did I say? Basically just like do what you're doing and do it good and just be in the moment, give your all to each thing that you're doing rather than like worrying about what's ahead. I said intentions today, do what you do and do it good. There's a Bill Withers song called Do It Good. He goes, don't worry about it, just do what you do and do it good. So that is the intention for the day, and so I'm carrying that with me throughout the day. And so now I'm going to work on this presentation and I'm going to do it good. been very absorbed in this for the past few hours, which feels really good when you just enter a focused space for a decent amount of time. I sometimes struggle to get into that space, but I did it. Time is really escaping me though. I always do this. I just don't know how to manage my time properly. I always think things are going to take not as long as they do. But it is 3:50. I have a Spanish lesson in 10 minutes. I take classes with Lingoda. The class that I'm taking today is more of a grammar class because I think that that's something that I'm struggling a bit with learning Spanish. So it should be a good class. But I'm feeling a little bit rusty. Vale, ahora podemos hablar en español. Estoy un poco nerviosa porque mis vocabulario is un poco needs some work. Pero pienso de mis español es improving mucho. Y espero de la próxima año I will be más fluente en español. Y después mi clase de español necesito trabajo un poco más, pero no quiero tener tiempo para editing my video hoy or for editing the UGC video. Pero es todo bien. Esta es vida. A veces tenemos tiempo y a veces no tenemos tiempo. Y hoy no tenemos mucho tiempo. ¿Vale? Join class.
Hola, Cameron. ¿Qué tal?
Hola. Bueno, gracias. ¿Y tú? I've been learning Spanish with Lingoda for the past couple of months and I've had such a great experience taking classes with them. It always feels really encouraging and motivating, and I love that the classes are always super small and you can actually get a proper chance to speak. They currently have an amazing offer with their sprint challenges, which are 30-day courses designed to help you boost your confidence in communicating and speaking whatever language you're trying to learn. You can either take the sprint challenge, which is 15 lessons in 30 days, or you can take the super sprint, which is 30 lessons in 30 days. And if you finish all of the classes, you get 50% of your cash back. And they're also currently offering an additional discount of up to 20%. And if you use the link to sign up in my description, that will also give you an additional 20 euros or the equivalent of. The price per class ends up being around 4 euros. And the last day to claim that offer is the 18th of November. So feel free to use the link in my description if you want to get that extra 20 euros off. And thank you to Lingoda for sponsoring this video and helping me improve my Spanish. I woke up feeling kind of overwhelmed and a bit existential about the world, so I decided to get in the car and go for a drive, which always feels so healing, especially in a place where there's lots of nature around and you can just kind of zone out and stare ahead and be in motion. There's something so nice about being in motion. It just feels very, very soothing. And then I found this little taverna where I sat and did some work, and it was so perfect. I love when you go out and then sort of stumble upon things that make you feel better, or like things that you feel like you need that you didn't know you needed. That's what this morning felt like. It's been a random day so far. Today's just got such a feeling of what is this world, you know? Everything that's happening in the north of Gaza right now and all the videos and images and horrors that are coming out is just so like sickening. Like seeing genocide happen so blatantly clearly, it makes like everyday living and just like everyday things feel so like insignificant and like what are we doing? Like that kind of feeling. The world is just so scary. Like so beautiful, so inherently beautiful. Humans are so scary, and fear and like otherness and separation and division is so scary. And the way that like our minds can become so polluted by society and like things that get like fed to us absent-mindedly is so scary. But yeah, basically I'm just saying all this to say that I think it's important to be able to sit and think and feel things that are like greater than yourself and greater than your own individual life. And I feel like we need so much love and so much empathy for one another at the moment. I've got a half an hour drive to go home. I'm going to listen to music and be.
Gado gado.
The simple joy, simple pleasure of going grocery shopping and having a fridge full of produce and just knowing that you can cook yourself meals and you don't have to leave the house is a simple pleasure that really I don't think will ever get old. Every single time I get groceries, I'm like, wow, that feels amazing. And now that I'm home, I've got my comfy pants on, I'm making a pot of tea, I'm gonna sit down and do some editing. I've come out for a little morning wander to remember the beauty that is in the world. Nature is always so soothing and calming and grounding. And so I thought the only way to start the day today is to go and sit in the sun. It is the only way. I love when I'm travelling to places and there's eucalypts. Eucalypts always remind me so much of home in Australia. Windy, windy, windy. Come on, Atlas. You coming on the walk? I've got a really nice spot for us in the sun. The water from the tap has been like so sedimenty, and there's a spring near where I'm staying. Now I have water. Go on. You gonna wait for me? Let me lead the way. I am shifting gears back to architectural design. And I have got a meeting in a couple of minutes to get briefed on the work that I'm doing. I really like this balance that I have at the moment with like content creation and architectural design because I enjoy both of them. But in the past, when I worked in the office in architecture, I felt really consumed by that part of my work and that part of my life, and I didn't feel like I had enough time to explore what I wanted to explore in content creation and just creative expression. So now I feel like I have a really nice balance and I'm still able to do my architectural design work because I do genuinely enjoy it, and I like that it also gives me the like mental breathing space, I think, because content creation can be so involved. I find content creation a lot more energetically draining than architecture work. When I do my architecture work, I find I can kind of switch off a part of my brain in a way, like the really creative part of my brain. I can kind of put that to sleep and I'm doing things that are a bit more technical and just using a different part of my brain, which is really nice. And it also gives me time to listen to podcasts. So I'm going to jump onto this meeting now and then get into work and listen to some podcasts today.
They have to come to me. No, I have to go to people too. I have to take these roots to the planet, to the world. It's a decision. Voila.
Yeah. To kind of close this out, I'm interested in
if you're listening to anything you're excited about, or if there's any musicians that, or any music or any musicians that you've been excited about that you've been listening to on the road, or that you're listening to right now that you're kind of settling back home for a little bit.
Yes, but you're gonna be disappointed. I don't know because you don't know nobody from who I'm listening to right now.
No, I would love to hear the name of this artist. I love discovering new artists, even if I don't initially know them. That's kind of the spirit of the show.
Tonight is a full moon, which means that I'm having some boundaries with work, and I'm making some spanakopita, and I'm going to go to the beach to watch the moon rise and have a little date with the moon and myself. So supposedly the moon is rising east northeasterly, which I guess is like that way. So it needs to come over those mountains before I can see it. But I've come here and taken precious cargo, which is spanakopita that I made, tied up very, very conveniently. I've walked around the headland here. So this is my current view, and it's just me on this little rock with my spanakopitas, and I'm very, very, very happy about it. What a way to end the day.